This time, we ask that you please be seated and do not block the aisles so that everyone can see the processional. Thank you. Families and friends, I am Lisa Landerman, the Vice President for Student Affairs at Willamette University. It is my pleasure to serve as your MC for today's ceremony. Graduates, families, and friends, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and the Board of Trustees, welcome to Willamette University's College Commencement in this, the 184th year of Willamette University. And, of course, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers with us today. As well as those who have cared for and guided our students throughout their time at Willamette. We are gathered on the land of the Kalapuya, who today are represented by the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde and the Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians, whose relationship with this land continues to this day. We offer gratitude for the land itself and for those who have stewarded it for generations and for the opportunity to study, learn, work, and be in community on this land. We acknowledge that our university's history, like many others, is fundamentally tied to the first colonial developments in the Willamette Valley, and we respectfully acknowledge and honor past, present, and future Indigenous students of Willamette. I would like to ask you all to please stand for the invocation delivered by University Chaplain Ken Wisemith.
Thank you, Vice President Landerman, and it is my privilege to offer the invocation for today's ceremony. As we gather for this commencement at Willamette University, we pause in gratitude for this moment, for this community, and for the journey that has brought all of you here today. Today is a celebration of achievement, perseverance, and growth, and over the years, you graduates have been shaped not only by classrooms and coursework, but by friendships, challenges, conversations, and the shared life of this community. And now you leave this place carrying not only your degrees, but responsibility. At Willamette, we often speak about the call to turn knowledge into action, to use what has been learned in service to the world around us. As one of Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous phrases going from a 1967 address to junior high students, but relevant to all of us seeking to grow. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Or as was spoken last night at the baccalaureate service, Mother Teresa saying, if we have not peace, it's because we've forgotten that we belong to one another. So may you, the class of 2026, go forward with wisdom, compassion, and the courage to contribute meaningfully in a world that deeply needs thoughtful and principled leadership. Before we continue, we also pause to remember Sky Skiena, a member of our Willamette community whose loss this spring has been deeply felt across the Salem campus. Even in a day of celebration, we recognize that joy and grief often exist side by side. So we hold space today for remembrance, gratitude, and the impact of a life that mattered deeply to this community. So I invite all of you now into a brief moment of silence in memory of Sky. And I'll offer this brief prayer by way of invocation. Creator, may this day be filled with joy, pride, reflection, and hope. May the graduates of Willamette University go forward with clarity of purpose, generosity of spirit, and a deep commitment to serving the world around them. Amen. You may be seated.
Thank you, Pastor Witzma. It is now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of the Willamette University Board of Trustees, Kevin Smith, who will present emeritus diplomas to our retiring faculty members.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the university's Board of Trustees, I'm pleased to offer my congratulations to all today's graduates and their families, and especially the mothers with us today. Today is the best day of the year to be a trustee here, a wonderful reminder of our purpose to see all of you coming together for commencement. At this time, it's my honor to recognize the members of the university faculty who are retiring at the close of the academic year. First, would Bobby Brewer-Wallen please come forward? Bobby Brewer-Wallen has been part of the Willamette University Theater Department for more than 25 years, bringing imagination, care, and a collaborative spirit to everything he does. As a costume designer, Bobby has created designs for more than 100 productions, from the classics of Shakespeare and Sophocles to bold contemporary works and world premieres. Whether designing Macbeth or The Revolutionists, Antigone, or Bob Rauschenberg America, Bobby brought both meticulous historic detail and an openness to new ideas. His work extends beyond Willamette stages to prestigious venues, including Portland's Artists Repertory Theater, where he has been a resident artist since 2016, and to collaborations with Hand to Mouth Theater, Third Rail Repertory, and the National Theatre of Scotland. Through these partnerships, Bobby has demonstrated that costume design is not merely a craft, it is a form of storytelling that transforms cloth into meaning. In the classroom, Bobby has created a remarkable body of courses that reveal his vision of costume as a lens for examining culture, memory, identity, and resistance. His courses speak to a scholar artist who invites students to see fashion and costume as windows into the human experience. His teaching has extended to Willamette's Pacific Northwest College of Art and to the National University of Ireland, Galway. In 2018, Bobby received the Faculty Award for Excellence in Teaching, Scholarship, and Service, affirming what his students and colleagues already knew, that Bobby brings the same creativity and thoughtfulness to his classroom as he does to his designs. Beyond his artistic practice, Bobby has been a dedicated steward of our community. He led the theater department from 2015 to 2019, served on countless committees, and has given generously of his time to community organizations. At the heart of Bobby's career is a blend of creativity and care, and a conviction that costume design is the art of transformation and that theater making is fundamentally about community. Bobby Brewer-Wallen, thank you for your years of artistry, teaching, and service. You have transformed how we understand costume as storytelling, and you have made an impact on countless students, colleagues, and audiences. We wish you continued creativity and joy in all the stories yet to be told. Everyone, I present to you Professor Theater Emeritus Bobby Brewer-Wallen. Would Ellen Eisenberg please come forward? Ellen Eisenberg has been with the Willamette University History Department and this institution for over 35 years, exemplifying our motto through a career dedicated to scholarship, teaching, and generous service. As a historian and scholar, Ellen has established herself as a national leader in American Jewish history. Her impressive body of work includes 6 books and more than 20 scholarly articles that have earned her invitations to conferences across the country. In 2018, she was invited by the American Jewish History Journal to review the status of the field, a testament to her standing as a leading voice in her discipline. In the classroom, colleagues describe her as meticulous, purposeful, and intentional, noting how she mindfully trains students in the skills and habits of mind critical to the liberal arts. Her students praise her as an incredible teacher who's kind, thoughtful, and thorough, and who has trained them to understand the fundamentals of historical thinking and methodology. As one student expressed, Ellen trained us to understand the fundamentals of the discipline, contextualizing how history operates and what methodology is used. Ellen's commitment to hands-on learning is evident in the vibrant community partnerships she has built, connecting our students with the State Archives, the Willamette Heritage Center, the Bush House, and other institutions. This demanding work created many new opportunities for our students to put knowledge into action through experiences outside the traditional classroom. And these are the kinds of efforts that students appreciate about her. Her service to this university has been tireless, serving as faculty council chair and on countless committees. As one colleague noted, if something needs doing, she probably did it last Tuesday. Throughout her 35 years, Ellen has modeled what it means to be a scholar teacher at Willamette, guided always by a commitment to process, fairness, and ethical behavior. Ellen Eisenberg, thank you for your extraordinary years of leadership, scholarship, teaching, and service. You have enriched this institution and transformed the lives of countless students. We hope you enjoy your well-deserved retirement, knowing that Willamette is a better place because of your contributions. Everyone, I present to you Professor of History Emeritus, Ellen Eisenberg. Thank you all again, and congratulations again to our graduates.
Each year, Willamette honors individuals whose outstanding accomplishments have enriched our world. This year's candidate will be presented by Professor of Biology, David Craig.
Rush San, L'chaim, David Craig, Naka Yakol, Naka Boston Man, Naka Wawa, Shnuk Wawa, Shawash Lalang Ukuk. Naka Miklek Kappa, Kalapuya Ilahi, Kamakst Kappa Dret Ul Kano Stick, Maniki Ul Pi Willamette Tai School. Hayumasi Kalapuya Ilahi, Piyaka Tilakam, Pinaseka Shishk, Charles F. Chuck Sams III, Yaka Chaku Wawa, Naseka Kappa Yaka Comtux. Good day. Hello, my name is David Craig. I'm a Boston or white man speaking Chinook Wawa, the local indigenous trade language. I'm here in Kalapuya land with ancient oak trees older than Willamette University. Many thanks to the Kalapuyan land and its descendants and our friend Charles F. Chuck Sams III, who comes to speak to us today from his knowledge. Chuck Sams was raised in Pendleton, Oregon, shaped by the landscape and living traditions of the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation, where he is an enrolled member of the Cayuse and Walla Walla peoples with blood ties to the Cayuse and Walla Walla peoples. With blood ties to the Yankton Sioux and Cocopa peoples. His identity as a steward of the land was not simply learned, it was inherited. In the Umatilla creation story, human beings are called to be the stewards of flora and fauna and a voice for those who cannot speak. When Chuck Sams testified before the United States Senate in 2021, he said something that deserves to be heard in this place. My personal history is deeply interwoven with the fabric of our shared American history. He meant it literally. His ancestor, Hendrik Sams, immigrated to the American colonies in the mid-1700s. His ancestor, Joseph LaRoque, came to the Oregon Territory in 1812 with the Pacific Fur Company. And in 1836, his great-great-grandfather, Chief Pio Pio Mox Mox, extended the remarkable act of trust by bringing his son, Toyo Anhu, to be educated in Jason Lee's mission school on the Willamette River, the institution that became this university. Today, Willamette honors its descendant. The circle, more than a century and a half in the making, is worth pausing to acknowledge. Chuck carries the inheritance forward through 30 years of service in tribal government, federal agencies, and conservation, including as executive director of the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation. A U.S. Navy veteran, in 2021, he was unanimously confirmed as the 19th director of the National Park Service, the first Native American ever to lead that agency. As director, he advanced co-stewardship of the nation's more than 400 national parks, uniting indigenous knowledge with scientific practice. Since returning to Oregon, he serves as the inaugural director of indigenous programs at Yale University's Center for Environmental Justice. He is also the inaugural Oregon Tribe Scholar in Resident and Senior Fellow with the Native Environmental Sovereignty Project at the University of Oregon's Environmental and Natural Resource Law Center. Chuck Sams has spent his life demonstrating that the health of the land and the sovereignty of indigenous peoples are not separate conversations, they're one. His family history calls to us to learn more about our shared history. His career truly exemplifies our motto, not unto ourselves alone are we born. President Thorset, I am pleased to present Charles F. Sams III for the honorary degree, Doctor of Public Service.
Charles Sams, I am pleased to bestow upon you the honorary degree, Doctor of Public Service, with all of the rights, duties, and privileges thereto appertaining, and to introduce you to this audience as Willamette University's 2026 College Commencement Ceremony speaker.
Goodness. Nich halau in an imuma. In Ashwa Nasha Shkalashkoit wa Kanish nak Nui Sluma. The Chamna Nich Yawepum. Walitpu, Walulupum, Yankton, Kokapa. Good day, my friends and relatives. My Indian name is Mockingbird with Big Heart, and I come from the place of the Big Springs and the quaking aspen in what is now called Eastern Oregon. I am Walitpu, which means I am people of the ryegrass and of the rocks of the Cayuse today. I'm Walulapum, people of the small rivers. I am Yankton. I am people of the people who live in the bend of a river. I am Kokapa. I am people who live in the clouds above the river. Seems to be a theme there about rivers. I am so very, very pleased to be with you all today. President, distinguished faculty, honored guests, proud families, and most importantly, the Willamette University class of 2026, good afternoon. And I want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day, especially my own mother, Sarah Lynn Sams, and my beautiful wife, Lori Sams. So fortunate for us. It's been so fortunate for myself, my siblings, and my own children that our mothers, my mother, my children's mother, have consistently enforced the importance of education, both formal and informal. So today, we honor our mothers all across this great nation in thanking them for not only raising us, but for teaching us right from wrong, and for holding us up and supporting us in both our challenges and tribulations and in our triumphs. So happy Mother's Day. I stand before you today deeply honored as someone who believes in the power of place, stewardship, and service. I want to begin by offering my heartfelt gratitude. Thank you to the faculty who have guided these graduates, the families who have supported them with unwavering encouragement, and to the graduates themselves for your hard work, curiosity, and courage. This is your day, one that shines with the possibility of new adventures. My own story begins far away from these traditional halls of academia. In the wide open spaces of the Columbia Plateau, along the Nichiwana, or as I call it, the Big River, now known as the Columbia, the Umatilla River and its tributaries, and in the Blue Mountains of eastern Oregon. As a Cayuse and Walla Walla tribal member, my upbringing was shaped by a deep respect for the land and for the elders who taught me about stewardship and responsibility. My path led me from tribal homelands to a life of service, first learning how to serve my tribal community in our traditional longhouse, and upon completion of my high school education with the United States Navy. Then dedicating my academic and professional life to being a good steward of land, air, water, flora, and fauna. This work eventually led to the directorship of the National Park Service, where I witnessed firsthand the beauty and fragility of our nation's most treasured places. Along the way, I learned that service is not just a job, it's a calling. It's a way of life that asks us to think beyond ourselves and to invest in the well-being of others and of the world we all share. Being an advocate for abundance, for me, became a way to honor both my heritage and my responsibility to future generations. A life dedicated to advocating for the restoration of balance. Among my people, there is an understanding that we humans really have limited wants and unlimited resources. We were taught that we really need is food, water, air, shelter, a warm fire, and a love for one another. In our belief that Creator provided unlimited resources to meet our limited wants and desires. So you can imagine my surprise when I went off to college for a business degree and learned that I had unlimited wants with limited resources. I knew as I was pursuing my degree that I must work to ensure we find a balance between our wants, needs, and the resources that are available. When I was asked by the communications staff of the Department of the Interior where I wanted to be sworn in as the 19th Director of the National Park Service, I told the staff that I wanted to be sworn in by the Secretary at the base of the Washington Monument. They asked why. I said, well, I want folks to know up there on that hill that the savage Indian is back on the National Mall. The communications director laughed, the chief of staff laughed, I laughed, and then they said, what's your second choice? I said, can I think about it? I thought about it for a day and I called back upstairs and I said, I would choose the Lincoln Memorial. For you see, as a young sailor attending intelligence school, there was a 2-week break between classes. So 4 of us went up and got a friend of ours married, sent him off on his honeymoon in Maine, and then we proceeded on one of the most greatest adventures I've ever had in my life. A road trip that took us down the I-95 corridor to visit as many national park sites, monuments, memorials, historic markers. This big adventure allowed me to walk from Maine to Florida in the footsteps of my fellow Americans. We learned about the Wabanaki in Maine, the English immigrants who sailed on the Mayflower and walked off into a new land, the colonists of Jamestown, Virginia, the revolutionaries who fired the very first shots at Lexington and Concord in Massachusetts, the industrialist ideals in Paterson, New Jersey, Civil War battlefields in Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, embarkation locations for the Spanish-American, the First World War, the Second World War, and so many, many more sites. This experience brought me greater understanding of the oath I took when I joined the Navy, to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, to protect an idea, a path to a more perfect union, to protect our democracy. One site stood out to me much more than any other, and that was Lincoln's Memorial. In the hallowed temple sits President Lincoln, and inscribed on the limestone walls are his second inaugural address and the Gettysburg Address. After reading those words on those walls for the first time, I sat on the steps of the memorial and realized that he was giving us all a warning. I realized that would most likely never be a foreign nation who would conquer our democracy. If we were to fall, it would be of our own doing. President Lincoln gave everything of himself in order to keep the Union together. I had to figure out what I would do. I began a lifelong fascination with President Lincoln, I read his biography, the letters that he wrote. I studied his life's history. He was very curious, willing to learn and study multiple subjects. While he may have only had a grade school education, he was a voraciously reader. When he didn't understand something, he immediately sought out teachers and counsel. All of his personal academics led him to become a lawyer by trade. He knew that he was flawed and worked very hard to be better, to do better. The day he signed the Emancipation Proclamation, he also signed the death warrants of 38 Dakota men, many of them my own relatives. While he had pardoned over 300 Dakotas who had raised up demanding that what they had been promised by the United States government under treaty, they had revolted against the Indian agent and the Army at the Lower Sioux Agency along the Minnesota River. Lincoln understood he couldn't punish all those who fought against the Army, but he could see himself in them. He saw in them the same thing if it happened to his own family, his friends, and his people, that he too would have stood and fought. So while he was freeing one group of enslaved people, he condemned others to lose their freedoms and be forced onto reservation lands. I like to think, had he lived, he would have learned from this event and could have found a better path for Native and non-Native people alike. Unfortunately for all of us, his life was cut short by an assassin. Well, back to that cold December 2021 day. My executive staff and I walked over from our offices at the Department of the Interior to meet Secretary Holland at the base of the Lincoln Memorial for my swearing in. Her staff had briefed her that I wanted to be sworn in under the gaze of President Lincoln at the very top of the steps. She said that we would conduct the ceremony on the second landing. As we began to make our way up the steps, a senior member of her staff walked up and said, "Ma'am, we have everything set up on the top of the landing." And she kindly said, "We will be conducting the ceremony on the second landing." Just as we were approaching the second landing, an even more senior member of staff came up to her and said, "Ma'am, again, we've prepared everything up on the top landing." I stopped them and said, "I'm very pleased to be sworn in on the second landing. For as you see, as we learn as we grow, you don't counteract the boss." The secretary asked everyone to step away for a moment so that we could talk. As we looked out onto the National Mall, looking at Washington Monument, Jefferson's Memorial, the Roosevelt Memorial, the Reflection Pool, she said to me, "On behalf of the American people, the President of the United States, and myself, I charge you with the protection and preservation and enhancement of these monuments, memorials, and our nation's parks and historic sites. Tell our collective stories fiercely. Search out for those stories yet to be told in the parks. Let us work to ensure that every American can see a reflection of themselves in their park." She then said, "Please look at your feet." I looked a bit confused, and she repeated herself, "Would you please look at your feet?" As I looked down, I could see the bronze marker dedicating the very spot that Dr. King had given his "I Have a Dream" speech in 1963. Secretary Holland then said, "Chuck, you and I represent and embody Dr. King's dream, and it is up to us to keep it alive. Therefore, I now charge all of you to keep Dr. King's dream alive. You represent all that is best about America. Your education, your service to community, your willingness to take on work that will help advance all of us as a collective, to pursue life, liberty, and happiness, and to strive for a more perfect union. We need you all now more than ever. Our democracy is a contact sport. We are only as strong as we are willing to be active participants in it. Make sure your voice is heard. Take action where you can, for whatever you stand for. Make sure that you are an active participant of this democracy." Working with the National Park Service, I learned lessons that I will hope will inspire you as you step out into the world. Nature is both patient and persistent. A single tree may take decades to reach its height, but standing together, forests change the world. Look at your classmates on either side of you, in front of you, behind you. Know that you gather strength from your shared experience here at Willamette. Know that these relationships will help and guide you during triumphs and challenges. Stand ready to offer your fellow alums support when they call upon you. Continue cultivating these relationships and ensure that they are reciprocal. Stewardship is about more than preservation. It's about active participation. It means making choices that honor those who came before us and those yet to come. Live up to Willamette University's motto, "Not unto ourselves alone are we born." Our parks are living examples of what happens when people unite around a common good. They remind us that every voice matters and that leadership is not about standing front, but about listening, collaborating, and building bridges. The natural world teaches us resilience, adaptability, and the power of collective action. As you prepare to leave Willamette, you step into a world that is as complex as it is beautiful. We face environmental challenges, climate change, loss of biodiversity, and the need for sustainable communities. There are also social and civic challenges, bridging divides, fostering inclusion, and protecting the rights and dignity of all people. I urge you to carry on the values of stewardship and service into this next chapter of your own life. Be the leaders who choose collaboration over division, courage over comfort, and hope over cynicism. Find the places where your passions meet the world's needs and give generously of your time and of your talents. As stewards, as citizens, as graduates of Willamette, you have the opportunity and the responsibility to help shape a future that is more just, more sustainable, and more compassionate. Whether you pursue careers in business, science, education, the arts, or public service, I hope you will remember that true leadership is about lifting others up and protecting the world that we all share. Today, you join a long tradition of Willamette graduates who have gone on to make meaningful impacts in their communities and beyond. You are stewards of knowledge, of culture, and the land. The future is bright because of your promise, your energy, and your commitment to serve. So, as you celebrate this remarkable achievement, remember that your journey is just beginning. Carry with you the wisdom of your mentors, the love of your families, and the courage of your convictions. Step boldly into the world, and may you always find inspiration in the beauty and resilience of nature and in the power of community. Congratulations, class of 2026. The world awaits your light. Thank you.
Thank you to our singers. It was really quite beautiful. And now, class of 2026, it is my pleasure to introduce your student speaker. Juan Maririo Villalobos is from Mesa, Arizona, where he spent most of his time at a liberal arts school where the graduating class was no bigger than 45 students. A small but academically driven environment, much like Willamette University. He is an economics and civic communications and media, CCM, double major with a minor in global cultural studies. All right. This is an interesting mix, he is often told, but he makes it a point to emphasize that each path of the knowledge stems from the same seed of curiosity, empathy, truth, and beauty. In their CCM capstone, Artful Communications for Well-Being, Juan Maridio and his partners learned and practiced communication with art that he has served as resistance, advocacy, empathy, and wellness for centuries. To them, these are means of connection. In their economics capstone, Biased by Design, he and Team Data Rights dove deep into biased artificial intelligence in healthcare and its persistence in our country. They learned the roots of this new technology and created a roadmap for regulation and equitable practices. At Willamette, he spent most of his time at the bistro with friends as a barista, all right, and then later as one of the social media and communication managers. He then decided to study abroad for a year in Italy and South Korea, where he had the privilege of meeting some best friends and volunteering at animal sanctuaries across Italian islands and in East Asia. After graduations, Juan Maridio will be taking a small break in Salem to spend time with friends before moving home to Arizona to work as a strategy and operations manager. Eventually, he will take the entrance exam to pursue a master's in strategic business communication abroad. In this next chapter of his life, he aims to grow and learn more about himself while learning how he can use his skills and voice to help those around the world who are facing injustice. Class of 2026, I present to you your student speaker, Juan Maridio Villalobos.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. It's not every day that you get to graduate on Mother's Day, so in order to embarrass my mom, could we please give her a big round of applause? Carmen Doramit. Shout out, Mom. There's something about standing in a place long enough that it starts to feel like yours. The early mornings in the bistro before class, the late nights that blurred into each other, the buildings, the faces, the small moments that somehow added up to everything. I look out and I see all of it reflected back. So before anything else, to my family, to everyone who showed up for someone sitting in these seats today, thank you. You gave us everything we needed to be standing here, and I truly hope we carry you with us always, including the ones we've had to learn to carry differently, the ones who are not here in body, but I promise you are here. I think we all have someone like that today, and this is for them too. Class of 2026, we really did it, and I mean that with full knowledge of everything it took. We were not handed an easy few years. We studied, we wrote, worked, and grew up inside one of the most politically turbulent moments this country has seen in a long time. We watched division happen in real time, on our phones, in our classrooms, at our dinner tables. We had to learn how to talk to each other and how to hold complexity without breaking. And that is everything. What I saw over and over again was this class choosing to stay in it, not going numb, not checking out, staying curious, staying present, staying human. And I think that takes a particular kind of strength, and it's the same strength that's going to carry us forward into whatever comes next. I've been thinking a lot about what I wanted to say today. We hear a lot about going out and being a light in the world, and I love that, I really do. But the more I sat with it, the more I felt like we are something beyond that. Light is beautiful, light is patient, and light waits. But I think we have done enough waiting. So if you know me, you know I like to write. So I wrote this short piece for us called Let Us Be. They told us to be light, soft and still, something to guide by, something safe to look at. And we tried, God, we tried. We stood in doorways and hallways, in the dark corners of rooms that were never meant for us, glowing politely, hoping someone would follow. But there is something in us that was never meant to glow. It was meant to burn. So let us be fire, not the kind they keep in a jar, tame and trembling behind glass, but the kind that decides for itself where it goes, what it takes, what it leaves behind. We are still here, and we are still us. The same hands, the same ache, the same love that made us want to love and light up in the first place. But we are done being careful with it. So let the fire know our names. Say your name, say my name, say their names, the ones we lost, the ones we carry, the ones who never got to burn as bright as they deserved. So let it carry us forward the way only burning things can, not gently, not quietly, but completely. We were always this, and we are only now letting it show. That's us. That has always been us. We are not leaving here afraid. We are leaving here ready to do the work, the deeply personal work of what it means to be a human being in community with other human beings who are doing their best. And before I close, I want to dedicate this speech not only to my class, but to those who are not here today. Not because they didn't work for it, but because the world did not make it a safe place for them to do so. To students in schools where safety should have been a guarantee, to our neighbors and friends whose families are being targeted and torn apart, and to the people in Southwest Asia and North Africa, commonly known as the Middle East, who should be celebrating this season with us. We see you and we carry you. To the parents, family, friends, chosen family in this space, the love you have poured into us is sitting in every seat in front of you. We feel it, and we will spend our lives trying to honor it. And to my class, I am so proud to have burned alongside all of you. You know your name, so now go let the world feel it. Thank you.
And now it's time for the main events. The names of our graduates will be read by Romana Autry, Dean of the Atkinson Graduate School of Management, and Kelly Strawn, Interim Dean of the Faculty of Arts and Sciences. Families, we share in your excitement, but due to the large number of people viewing this ceremony, it is necessary to restrict access to the stage and graduate seating area. Please keep the aisles near the student section clear and do not block others' view of the stage. There will be ample time after each ceremony to take photographs after the ceremony.
Will the candidates for the degrees in course please stand up? President Thorsit, these persons have been recommended by the faculties of Willamette College for degree conferral from Willamette University. On behalf of the faculties, I recommend that these candidates be awarded their degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Willamette University and by the State of Oregon, and upon recommendation of the Faculties of Arts and Sciences, the Atkinson Graduate School of Management, and the School of Computing and Information Sciences, it is my pleasure to confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science with all of the rights, duties, and privileges thereto appertaining. As evidence thereof, you will receive the diploma of graduation bearing the seal of the university and the signatures of the proper officers of the corporation. Congratulations, graduates. And you may be seated.
Pachi Ackerman Bennett. Zachary Larson Adams. Samuel Richard Adamson. Letitia Atswe Ajay. Shuvik Ahmed Antu. Aster Eclipse Albert. Andrew David Alexander. Judah Michael Ali Ifwa. Oliver Duncan Algian. Bradley Daniel Allen. Parker Joseph Allen. Aveline Blaze Alport. Zainal Abdin Al Saud. Alessandra Armenta Lopez. Fiona Nilo Arnold. Tori Ashkin. Catherine Taylor Joy Aspinall. Kyle Attard. Colin Reggie Au. Luce Icarus Bailey Hyde. Connor M. Baker. Evan Wilhelm Baker. Sarah K. Garber. Rhea Lynn Basil. Harrison A. Beatty. Carmen Beltran Cisneros. Rowan Elijah Bennett. Lou Ramos Bergeron. Sophia Bergstrom. Kai McKinley Bernstein Lawler. Madeline Berry. Sawyer Daniel Best. Nicholas Chase Beswick Seidel. Anna Love Bickle. Adam James Burt. Emily Kate Bisping. Lillian Elizabeth Blair. Graham Paul Blechschmidt. Piper Grace Blechschmidt. Kira Brooke Boley. Clara Cole Boero. Winter Lynn Bond. Warren Bongadillo. Micah Rose Boston. Asia Marie Bowen. Sophia Renee Bowman. Katrina Hayes Bowyer. Daniel Ayton Breaker. Allison Lorraine Branch. Zia Marie Brandstetter. Harleen Cower Brar. Elizabeth Elena Brasher. Katrina Nicole Briggs. Shanti Rodnick. Ayana Shaylin Brown. Journey Alana Brown. Sierra Brown. Juliet Abigail Burns. Emma Lynn Burton. Laura Alexandra Cady. Ella Elizabeth Carnell. Luca Yinming Casano. Augusta Ropp Castrodale. Shauna Lynn Caswell. Haley Rose Seglia. Spencer Harrison Chapin. Tyler William Chapman. Ella Zoe Chatalis. Jay Masao Chu. Annika Josephine Christensen. Emily Ann Serbo. Trajan Anthony Clark. Maya Lynn Cook-Laser. Owen James Cole. Mashini A Million Blessings Coleman Tolliver. Jillian Sarah Consani. William E. Cooper. Leslie Cordero Lagos. Grace May O'Neill Corsack. Ben Jane Corsello. Carla Estrella Huerto Cortez. Nicholas Sparrow Cottrell. Isatu Marie Coyle. Arlo Kathleen Kraft. Katie Elizabeth Kramer. Lucas Matias de Vega. Sophia Nicole Dawkins. Ethan Flynn Davies. Hayden A. Davis. Colin Michael Davis. Colin Kimball Davis. Kayla Trimari Davis. Tammy Elaine Dawson. Alexa Rose DeCrinis. Deante Dean. Benjamin Delaveau. Mamadou Dem. Margaret F. Dempsey. Erin Jessica Denny. Lucille Simone Devlimick. Diego Diaz. Lee Errol Dicker. Tyler Austin Dickinson. Samuel David Dillon. Alexander Dimitrichuk. Henry Antonin Dobish. Bjorn Alexander Domst. Clara A. Don. Quinn Webster Donaldson. Sophia Rose Donahoe. Devin Bell Donovan Stoddard. Kara Ann Dreyer. Braden Stromberg Duke. Hayden Duncan. Ren Dunham. Elliot Scott Earls. Sarah Jane Early. Sierra Marie Edwards. Emma Elizabeth Elliott. Ashton Ellis. Jacob Stephen Engstrom. Kaya Junelle Elizabeth Erickson. Indy Esnault. Connor Lee Everett. Isaac L. Fa'aupenga. Jordan Tyler Fassel Holmes. Grayson Elizabeth Firestein. Spencer Elijah Fiden. Benjamin G. Fields. Paola Figueroa Morfine. Francesca Rebecca Finch. Jasper Finley Mercia. William Frederick Finney Jordette. Annabelle Ray Flanagan. Eleanor Elizabeth Fleet. Emma Christine Floyd. Eva Rose Dunklin Floyd. Jake Robert Freeland. Eliana Catherine Fry. Geronimos Valen Fuentes. Rhiannon Marlene Gabrielson Shimp. Addison Rhodes Gage. Lou Gan. Nicholas Gabriel Garcia. Brenda Garcia Mejia. Joel Garcia Pena. Allison Lynn Gardner. Peyton L. Gardner. Sawyer Scanlon Garrison. Jackson Morris Garro. Grace M. Garver. Michaela Grace Gately. Brooke Gieselman. Tian Claire Gilbert. Alexander Leo Goddard. Caden A. Gonzalez. Grace Ann Aurel Brehu. William Grenewalt. Sterling Silas Griffin. Kira Mirai Grimes. Eric August Griswold. Amalia Ellis Hahn. Nathan Joshua Hernandez Hamburger. Solveig Hammond. Annalise Faith Hammond. Ken Beck Hanks. Eli Harris. Rory Elizabeth Harvey. Zachary Robert Hauk. Zoe Ray Hedgepeth. Chance Allen Hine. Constance Lee Hemmer. Andrew Henry Henny. Victoria J. Hennon. Grace Ann Hernandez Domst. Gabriel Martin Herrera. Jack Howard Hickey. Parker J. Douglas Heisey. Leah Garcia Horenstein. River Lilian Rosa Hostin. Lillian Rose Hubble. Elena Jade Hughes. Jackson Cross Hutchinson. Caitlin Marie Imaye. Josiah Stephen Jacob. Caroline Nicole Jameson. Kaz Janai. Haley Ione Jarvis. Ashton Jennings. Henry On Jensen. Elegwin Ann Johnson. Bo Johnston. Elijah Jones. Miranda Rose Ransom Jones. George Abraham Press Juarez. Clara Elizabeth Kathman. Kylan Walter Keeler. Rowan M. Keller. Salem Keller. Hamish Kelly. Samantha Renee Kennedy. Emery Sophie Karani. Ash David Keel. Ellie Kim. Claire Lynn Kiselnicki. Gavin Stephen Klipfel. Jody Knight. James A. Kester. Alexandra Kozik. Christina Amber Croker. Samantha Krug. Mara Ann Kuntz. William Isaac Leduca. Samantha May Lang. Isla Amika Longager. Jude Lawton. Leah Daisha Lee. Josephine Liberty Lee. Mackenzie Kim Kavai Hone Ikopoli Lee. Jason Elliott Lehman. Sarah Jean Leist. Anastasia Lamesh. Sergio Le Langerin. Sylvia Alfield Lindblad. Amelie Mar Yumankinga Lapham. Ariana Soraya Laurer. Abigail Grace Loomis. Melena Violet Loper. Mackenzie Lawrence. Liana Sheehan Lovett. Aiden Hartley Sawyer Lucan. Leilani Marie Liu. Leilani is earning her Bachelor of Fine Arts degree at the PNCA ceremony later this afternoon and is the first student to complete a double major across both Willamette College and PNCA.
Lane M. Lyman. Abigail Jean McAlpine. Elliot Ann Mackey. Kylie Grace McLeod. Sean Calvin Macri. Maya Allison McGee. Isabella Yvonne Malik. Milo Maltz. Megan A. Maniatakis. Nora Ruth Mapes Pigsley. Luis Felipe Marquez Guerrero. Matthew Wayne Mason. William James Mattingly. Caleb Theodore MacArthur. River Eli McClellan. Elliot Mitchell McElroy. Benjamin Kelton McInnes. Rory Austin McKee. Joey Harper Sid McCrolla Dye. Devin Faith Staples McMillan. Megan Grace McNaughton. Sarah Caitlin McNaughton. Delaney Frost McRoberts. Jared Randall McSorley. Owen Thomas Mecklem. Alexia Francesca Melara Lopez. Mateo Nicolai Mendez Leal. Miranda Adele Merrill. Ava Simone Merritt. Carson Powell Meyer. Sage Francis Lee Miller. Velibor Miladinovich. Catherine D. Moore. Zoe Mia Monaco. Brielle Moore. Roberta Erlene Moore. William Morales. Kai Matthew Morgan. Hannah Rose Mosher. Clara Joyce Mundall. Dago Murakami. Connor James Murphy. Kristen Bailey Nakagawa. Ezra Patricia Neely. Haley Emma Nelson. Margaret Lillian Nevala. Gerald Wood Neuenhoff. Emma Rose Knopfsinger. Elizabeth Genevieve Norman. Susan Samir Nuri. Brandon Olea. Kevin Charles Olmedo. Sean Blair Olson. James Thomas Osler. Braden to Tahiti Ovitz. Emilia A. Parker. Lucas James Paul. Austin Jeremiah Payne. Brooklyn Pearl. Dorsey Shannon Pearson. Alexa Perez. Marta Valeria Perez Cabrera. Aaron Mateo Perez Salas. Jay Perez Blanco. Catherine Minton Rose Pierce. Jordan Noel Pearson. Zoe Helena Place. Audrey Elizabeth Plass. Cien T. Presson. Brooke Lynn Proctor. Sophia Ann Rabanyan. Annika Marie Ramakrishnan. Sarah Ramchandani. Margaret Ramos. Benjamin Taylor Randall. Alexander Chapin Rasmussen. Dylan Bear Ray. Ava Hokuikekai Farayon Rich. Greta Reiter. Montgomery Edmund Remmer. Madison Grace Riso. Levi Bray Resanka. Ella Miley Rice. Abigail Nicole Richardson. Sally Christine Richter. Megan Isabella Rimmer. Chloe Meredith Ritter Reese. Kate Elise Rivera. Alejandro Andreo Ricardo Rivera IV. Avon Shelvin Roberts. Raylan Elliott Rodriguez Zahn. Grace Elizabeth Rogers. Mia Marie Rogers. Maya Lilu Rowe. Logan Xander Rollins. Gabrielle Evelyn Rose. Owen Quinn Ross Majeski. Anne Marie Elizabeth Hopman Roth. Gabrielle Kenna Roundtree. Hannah Marguerite Rowe. Allison K. Ruskell. Charlotte Allegra Sabini. Alexandra Daniela Sandoval Jauregui. Margaret Brooke Sawyer. Zayden Alexander Shivens. Vincent Sue Schilling. Grace Shimke. Aiden J. Schneider. Leo Schoenbrunn. Saida Rose Seelig. Cassandra Ann Segura. Mitchell Septoff. Josh C. Severson. Cedric Oliver Shaw. Terry Sherman. Jack Shostrom. Bela Sasha Scholman. Gray Sophia Siebenaller Ransom. Axel Graham Smart. Eleanor Schuyler Smith. Kylie Ann Smith. Kirsten Lee Smith. Erica Nicole Snyder. Alicia R. Sola. Beck Thompson Sonicson. Driti Sriram. Courtney J. St. Ange. Ingrid Elise Ann Standifer. Abigail Callahan Stanek. Skeet Thomas Starr. Haley Jillian Stephan Engdahl. Emma Lena Stevens. Whitley Cosette Stepp. Keegan R. Sturshik. Isabella Jane Strickler. Cheryl Claire Strode. Yahira Nayeli Suarez Vasquez. Amaya Riley Supancic McCord. Peyton D. Swan. Maya Christine Taylor. Marie Ann Tarab Daba. Emily Elizabeth Taylor. Juno L. Tageman. Riley Elizabeth Teskey. Lillian Ann Teese. Brody Ray Thomas. Clara Ann Thomas. Priya Ronnie Thorin. Garrett Douglas Thornhill. Alexis Lee Thorset. Cody Tamaunil Timarong. Tasha Amiko Tokairan. Alana Jade Toledo. Mallory Rose Tolliver. Citlali Trejo. Seth S. Tronco. Tiffany Trong. Carter Isaac Trieb Turman. Dylan Michael Turner. Aubrey Tuttle. Calvin James Ureda. Siren Ureño Clayton. Johnny Moore Vaquero. Harlow Vanderlaan. Carolyn Angel Vasquez. Leslie Anjali Vasquez. Stephen Austin Varespi. Lachlan Paul Vetter. Ryan Aaron Vickroy. Jacqueline Vieira Herrera. Juan Maurilio Villalobos. Alicia Vileli. Mia May Chong Chung Van Ham. Lily Jewel Walsh. Serena Louise Walter. Morgan James Watenpaugh. Jonathan Anders Webb. William Patrick Weeks. Starling Courage Basane Weissman. Autumn Ann Wertman. Catherine Grace West. Lacey Ann Wheeler. Eris C. Whitney. Electra Zimpopolo Williams. Mason Gaines Williams. Skylar J. Williams. Eli Otto Wilson. Katie Joy Wingo. Andrew James Woolard, Jr. Isaiah Sebastian Yanis. Janessa Love Young Flores. Noor Yuje Oral. Evan Joseph Zaremba. Luke Connor Zensick Quinlan.
Friends and family, please join me in congratulating the Willamette University graduating class of 2026. Graduates, this is the moment you get to move your tassel from right to left, signifying the completion of your degrees. As I stand here and look out at all of you, I'm filled with pride in what you have accomplished and optimism for what you will achieve. Each of you has traveled your own road to get to this point. Some of you with some detours along the way. Some of you started elsewhere before transferring to Willamette. A couple of you even entered with the class of 2027 and raced to a 3-year finish. But whenever you first came to Willamette, you became Bearcats. Today, at the very end of Willamette's 184th year, we celebrate the fact that as alumni, you will always be Bearcats. You are graduating into a moment of extraordinary change. As just one prominent example, artificial intelligence technology was still science fiction when we met here on opening days. And like it or not, it's reshaping the structure of our jobs and learning environments. AI is driving our cars, hacking our computers, and proving yet unproven theorems in pure mathematics. Where exactly did all this come from? Where is it going? Will it keep changing so fast? I know that change can feel daunting, but I want to reaffirm something that I hope you already know. You, class of 2026, are prepared to thrive in this moment. You're prepared because you've spent time studying literature and understanding why stories matter. You've prepared because you've studied philosophy and ethics, asking not just can we build something, but should we? You're prepared because you studied history and understand that technology without context or wisdom is just power without direction. And you're prepared because you have spent countless hours over the last 4 years having your ideas challenged again and again by professors and by classmates who pushed you to think deeper about how to defend your positions. All of this matters. In a changing world, there will be an increased premium on what is uniquely human. Critical judgment, ethical reasoning, creative problem solving, collaboration, the ability to communicate complex ideas with clarity and with empathy. The world has and it will continue to change. The careers that you imagined working in will transform. The skills you've gained may become obsolete. This is not something to fear, however, because this is the condition that your liberal arts education has prepared you for. You've learned how to learn, you've learned how to adapt, and you've learned how to think across disciplines and find connection that others might miss. The capacities to read, write, and think, and to lead with integrity, and to care about the impact of your choices will always be needed and will never be automated away. You also graduate at a moment when many of the institutions we have long trusted, the foundations of our civic life, are under pressure, if not under siege. Long-settled norms and structures are being questioned, reshaped, or dismantled. That makes your Willamette education more vital than ever, not only as preparation for a career, but as preparation for the responsibility that you now bear for this republic. That responsibility is not simply to preserve what you inherit, but to reimagine and rebuild, to shape new institutions that are equal to the demands of our time, grounded in enduring values of justice and equity, democratic responsibility. At Willamette, we define our mission as preparing graduates to turn knowledge into action. What we celebrate today isn't really what you have learned and done while you've been enrolled here as undergraduates. What we celebrate is what you will do out there in the world as Willamette alumni. Each year I tell our graduates that we need you to go out and build the better world that we all hope to live in. This year I say it with great urgency. Be builders of institutions, of communities, of trust. Challenge systems that fail the test of justice and equity, but do so with humility and with respect for those who see the world differently. Listen well, learn continuously, act bravely. Let your lives reflect the best work that this university can do. Show the world through your leadership, your service, and your integrity what it means to be educated here at Willamette. We are proud of you. We hope that you are proud of this place too, and we trust that you will help ensure that it and all that it represents endures. Let Willamette's enduring motto serve to remind you of the essential humanity of our most noble aspirations and of your connection to something greater than yourselves. I've already said the motto a number of times today, and a number of other people on stage have said the motto, so I think I'm going to try something different this year. I know, because I was standing on this stage 4 years ago, that all of you know the motto. So I am going to challenge you to say the motto as loudly as you can, one more time together as a community, on the count of 3. Let's start in English, okay? So 1, 2, 3. No. Yes. And now, for extra credit, let's say it in the language in which it was written. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. Those words have become part of who you are. Go forth and transform this chaotic, beautiful world. Make it more just, more sustainable, and more humane. And remember your duty to rebuild, restore, and reimagine the institutions that safeguard our freedoms and bind us together as a society. Class of 2026, I believe in you. You will always be part of this university, your alma mater. We will take pride in your successes. We will remember you. We will sometimes tell stories about you. And you will remember this place and your professors, and especially each other. Stay in touch with each other. Reach out to other alumni for support. Be an alum who is there for future students. Come back for reunions. Continue to nurture your Willamette friendships. It is hard to imagine, or perhaps to believe, the depth of meaning that you will one day draw from sharing the arc of your lifetime with people who you knew well when you were young. But for now, class of 2026, as we bring this celebration to a close, let me bestow upon you the traditional Willamette President's Blessing. When you depart from this commonwealth of learning, may your life bring you some work of noble note. May you find meaning in your commitment to others, and may your memories of Willamette University be undying. Good luck and best wishes to all of you.
This concludes the commencement exercises of this 184th year at Willamette University. For the student recessional, delegates from the Willamette University Alumni Association will help to lead our graduates out of the tent, symbolizing the fact that they are no longer students, but members of the Willamette alumni family. After the benediction, please allow the graduates to completely exit the tent before you proceed to greet them. Please stand for the benediction, which will be delivered by University Chaplain Ken Weitzma.
So class of 2026, receive this benediction. As you leave this place and step into what comes next, may you carry forward not only what you have learned, but what you have become. May you use your knowledge with wisdom, your gifts with generosity, and your influence with integrity. May you remain open to wonder, grounded in compassion, and courageous in the face of complexity. And may you remember that the truest measure of a life is not simply success, but the good that we do, the people whom we serve, and the communities we help strengthen along the way. We hope we have blessed you, and we know that you have blessed us. Go forward with gratitude, purpose, and hope.